Is Maker Alban Osharal, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth, the kingdom, and the church. Welcome, welcome. Um, the last couple of videos I've done here on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, with the exception of TikTok, I see that there's a lot of interruptions on my feed. Like you'll see me sticking and going moving in slow motion and all that kind of stuff. But to block the message from going through. Anytime there is a message that you need to hear that is of utmost importance, the powers and principalities that be put a stop to it so you cannot hear it, or maybe you won't have the patience to listen. Continue corruption. I hope that's not the case today. But we don't control the internet. We don't control that. We don't even control the platforms. We don't own the platform, so we don't control it. We are being censored. We are being told what we cannot say or what we can say. One of the things I know for certain is that we never get a feedback of what we said or how we said it to cause us to be either blocked or denied access or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. We're not going to come on our platform and talk about these things as if to say we can come of these things. We don't. And thanks for the opportunity we can actually come on these platforms and share our message, and hopefully that within that message someone can take away something that will change their lives forever. If you're joining, please, for the first time, my name is Maker Alban, again to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth for ourselves about religion, the kingdom of the Most High God. Today, I would say it's titled seven times. I preached a message for about 3 hours yesterday on the Shabbat day, and it was powerful. But when I look back, like I always tell you, I don't preach messages on my own. Like I don't go sit down, dig through the Bible and say, "Oh, I'm going to talk about this." I'm inspired to preach. Like I'm just one of them ministers of the gospel who it just comes to me and I preach. So oftentimes I sit here in front of you, I have no idea what I'm going to say. I just know that what I want to say, but I don't know what I'm gonna say. Does that make sense? I just have an idea. So I operate just on hearing and delivering. And oftentimes I go back and watch myself because I'm like, wow, and take notes or, just use my phone and take notes. Truth Matters Broadcasting is a ministry. It's a personal ministry. It's my personal ministry. A medium that I've used to get the message out to the world. Now, I said that before, but I want to put some more clarity in it. The message that we are to preach, it is from Yahoshai, um, Yahoshai, sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrong, Yahoshai. And that message is to go into the world and preach the kingdom. There's no other message you're supposed to preach than the kingdom. But I think for you to understand the kingdom, you got to understand your genealogy. You got to understand who you are. If you want to learn, especially if you can chase your lineage to the Middle Passage people, the Atlantic slave trade. If you can trace your lineage back to the Atlantic slave trade, then I'm talking directly to you, because here's the thing. You need to know who you are and what you're being classified in this country. But you need to know the history of your country. Most Americans today don't know the history of their country, white and black. All right? All right? Are we given to us? Because I've said this, yes, continue to say it. Whoever controls your past controls your future. There's a wise saying that if you don't know where you came from, you certainly is lost. I know you were looking for me to say, if you don't know where you come from, you certainly don't know where you're going. Also, but if you don't know where you're coming from, you're lost. And the Son of Man came to seek and to save that which was lost. So it's a time for us to be found, because where the information of us, the prophecy has been released to the end. It's here. The end is here. And if you were able to catch anything from my message yesterday, I preached the message sent to the lost sheep of Yahushual, aka Israel. If you able to catch that yesterday, you will see that I talked about just the timeline and where we are today. A lot of people in throughout our history, many people, many false prophets rise. Many false prophets came and say, "Oh, this, and the earth's going to be done in this time." And many false prophets came and predict stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, anything. We just look at the scriptures and we say, "Okay, what is the Most High God trying to tell us?" But again, all of this will mean nothing. His story. If you don't know it, you'll be bankrupt. There's a brother on YouTube. I wish all of you would go and like and follow his page. Not on YouTube. I think he's on YouTube, but he's also on TikTok. I found him on TikTok. Go follow this brother's page. If you want to know a little bit about your history and how to combat the things that are written against you, a brother that I want you to go find. He's on TikTok, and his name is Brother Truth. Brother Truth. BROTHATRUTH. 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 Brother Truth. Let me tell you something. If you're a black person, melanated person, you want to go hear what this brother have to say. I mean, the dude is gifted. He's definitely anointed when it comes to our history. That is great in the Americas. But if you want to go further, if you really truly trying to go back to the beginning and to know who you really are, then ladies and gentlemen, I need you to go look up on YouTube. They of course ban him on TikTok. I think they ban him on Facebook, and pretty soon they will ban him on YouTube. So you might be limited, but you gotta look up this brother called the Ravenous Bird. The Ravenous Bird. RAVENOUSBIRD. Let me do it again. Let me say it again. RAVENOUSBIRD. Yao. Now you know what I'm talking about. Yashai Yao. You probably think I'm talking about the Apocrypha, one of them lost books. No, I'm talking about the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is we are looking at mistranslation, word, changing of the word, watering down and buttering down the scriptures. This brother, the Ravenous Bird, is ordained and gifted by the Most High God, whose name is Yah. I know, it's crazy. That's why you got to go check out the Ravenous for yourself. His name is Yah. And you want your history, you want to know your history, that brother you need to go check out. And like I said, the first time I heard of the Ravenous Bird in scripture is when in I think First Kings 17, chapter 2, when Elijah ran away from Jezebel, and he was afraid for his life. He thought he was the only one left, and he was, God sent the raven to feed him there. Of all the birds that God could have sent, Yahweh could have sent, he sent the raven. And the raven feed the man of God. The raven feed the servant of God, and he fed them there. He brought the raven brought fish and bread in the morning and fish and bread in the afternoon. Now you go to Yashayahu. Now Yashayahu is the original true name of Isaiah. When they say Isaiah, Isaiah is not the name. Isaiah is not the name. They wrote Isaiah, but Isaiah is not the name. There's a lot of things change, and it's changed to keep you in the dark. Okay? So Isaiah, Yeshaya 46, verse 11, calling a ravenous bird, man. Come on now. So this man is ordained by God. Now, again, like I said, it's up to you, right? You got to do your own research and do your own prayer, do your own thing, right? My job is not to tell you what to do, but to give you information. And what you do with information is totally up to you. All right. Like I said, go check out this brother. If you want to know your history in the Americas, you should go check out your brother, Brother Truth. Brother Truth, powerful guy. I've been watching him all morning, and I like the things he said, just giving me some ideas, and I'm learning a few things about my history. But if you truly want to go back to who you truly are, then you got to check out Bird on YouTube, Bird, and start with the name of the true name of the Creator. It's gonna change your life. One last thing. You know, other people need to hear what you're hearing, right? And I'm on Facebook and YouTube at SR, and I'm on TikTok at Make Albania Osharal. That's MAYCHAALBANYAOHSH, Make Albania Osharal. And please like and follow my other TikTok page at RK Once More. RK Once More. AKHAYONESMORE. That's AKHAYONESMORE. Once more. Go a little slower. AKHAYONESMORE. K once more. It just means Mike once more, right? Please help me. I have over 3,000 of you on my TikTok live right now. And if just 700 of you just go over and just stick that page, then we can have another 1,000, because you know you can't go live without 1,000. So I thank you guys very much. All right. So we're going to get into this, man. We're going to get into this. 7 times is my title today. If you are any form of Christian, or do you understand Christianity, or you can understand the religion of Christianity, if you understand this, or not even Christianity, if you understand the Bible, if you ever glance in the Bible or read through the Bible, you would the God who created the heavens and earth did it in 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested. The God who created the heaven and earth, right, created in 6 days and rested on the 7th. If you're a non-believer and you're an atheist, you may want to still hear this, all right? But I'm not here to convince you. Do what you want, say what you want, believe what you want, right? Because at the end of the day, all eyes shall see, every tongue shall confess, and every knee shall bow. So I'm not worried about what you think or what you believe. As for me and my house, we will serve the Most High God, and that's just the end of that. And I'm commanded to go into the world and preach the gospel. And since I haven't traveled all over the world to do it, what one best good way to do it is to do it on social media, where everybody has a phone, everybody is on TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube, everybody. So if I can reach one person, just one person one person a month, I will be able to reach 12%. And if I can teach those 12 to reach 12 more, then we can win the world for the Most High. But I'm not naive. Just as it was in the time of Noah, so it's going to be in his day. Therefore, I'm not naive to think the world is going to believe this and know first to happen based upon what was prophesied. And that's all I got to go off. All right. So we know that it was only 8 souls made it into the ark. So who knows how many souls are going to make it at the end of time. But if you are interested in eternal life, your abundant life is incumbent upon you knowing this God and his Mashiach, who he has sent. So I'm talking 7 times. Book and read it by the help of the Holy Spirit in me, I've realized something. Even though there's a lot of mistranslation in here, a lot of changes in here, if you look at the history of the Bible and understand some things, now, will change your life. Brother Truth coming at you live. Hold on here. There's something the Brother Truth said. If I think I can find it, let me just play this for you from Brother Truth here. This is about the Pope and the United Nations. Watch this. Into the says that you very trust, because into the says about the Pope. Why? Peace and love, baby. It's your boy Brother Truth, and today we'll be talking about the Pope. Why status correction is so important, and how this all ties back into the Sestic Uve trust again. Because they got some power moves that they're trying to make, and most people don't even know what's going on. Do it. Now, before we even get deep into today's lesson, I first wanted to start with the United Nations and when it was started. So, the United Nations was started on October the 24th, 1945 by charter countries who wanted to come together after World War II to bring peace universally. But wait, that was just one part of the chess move. And if you know, like 1964, the Pope Holy See became the permanent observer and controller over the United Nations. Who? Now, a lot of this stems back to a very powerful man by the name of King James of Jamestown, and that King James version of the Bible that many of you all grew up on. Now, one thing that's important to remember is that this was a melanated man. He was a brother. And not only did he represent a nation of people, he also represented the church. Now, before he even became king, there had been all kind of religious wars fought during the Reformation era between the Protestants and the Catholics, who had different religious beliefs, but they were all Christians. Now, King James, who was born a Catholic, right? But he actually grew up in a Protestant household. So he was kind of best of both worlds. So his key role in all churches together and unify the one. So, in 1604, England's King James I authorized a new translation of the Bible aimed at settling some of the religious differences between Protestants and Catholics, and also solidifying his own power. Now, during these times, during the Reformation, many of the Protestants that were fighting and beefing with the Catholics ended up moving out the country and coming to places like America to discover the New World. But don't get it confused, because even though these people were Protestants, they were still subjects of the British Crown. And they were sent here to America on business to set up the Virginia Company. Now, over time, many of the American Indians and created alliances. So eventually, many of the colonists just said, you know what? We're never going back to Britain. We like it here in America. They treat us good. We can live and do our own Protestant religion. Nah, we're not going back. So therefore, they just left their states abandoned. And this right here is exactly what led to the 66 later on down the line. So behind closed doors, Parliament was like, you know what? Forget it. If these people don't come back to claim their estates after 7 years, just declare them dead and lost at sea. And now every subject of the British Crown was now declared dead and lost at sea and converted into a corporate entity. Reformation era, the Catholic Church ended up coming back into power. All right. Just a little history. Ooh. Back is itching me here. Good. Just a little history, ladies and gentlemen, on the King James Version, the power and control of the papacy over the United States, and not only over the United States, but over the actual United Kingdom. The very word "un" it signify a pagan god. Did you all know? Did you all know this? Un, un, or the pagan god under this umbrella of the United Nations is called the light bearer, the illuminated ones. That is why when you turn your light on, the light comes on. When you turn your light off, it comes off. But on, people, let me tell y'all something. Everything is incorporated and meshed like this. You just have to put the pieces together. And once you put the pieces to where you are in this world, this is why the word says, if you are a friend of this world, you are, ladies and gentlemen, of the jury, an enemy of the one true God. This world have been deceived and is lost in sin. The Son of Man came, why? To seek and to save that which is lost in sin. And to a peculiar people, the lost sheeps of Yahushua. In John 17, he made it abundantly clear, I do not pray for the world, but for them that you have given me out of this world. You see, we're chosen out of this world. The very word church called out. You are not of this world. You are of the kingdom of God. Now let me share another one from Brother Truth here. I tell you guys, man, you guys got to check out Brother Truth, man. He's on to something here. He's on to something. He knows something. Let me see which one. All right, let me give you another one. All right, watch this. Let's watch part 2 of this one he just gave me, and then we'll work on the next one.
Now the nations, right? Cubate act. Yo, they literally declared and turned every nation and their people around. The world was no longer operating under common law, constitutional law. Everything was now operating under maritime law, laws of the waters, because you were converted into corporate vessels. How so, you ask? Let me show you. First, it all started when the child was swimming through the waters of their mother's womb. And when that baby, aka goods on a vessel, are ready to arrive, right? To the very first thing that they need is a bill of lading. A bill of lading, aka that birth certificate, which is a detailed list of a shipment of goods in the form of a receipt given by the carrier, your mother, to the person consigning the goods, the doc, aka the doctor, because that's the first thing that you arrive to. And then after you see the doctor then takes those goods and turns around and does what with them? Gives them to the registry, right? The county registrar, and he registered the goods, the baby, as property of the state, for example. And if you know, there's always 3 key positions that they need on every single blading. That's your mother, who's the shipper, right? Who carried the goods and conveyed them over to the state. And you also have that witness, which is the doctor. And then you also have right here the state registrar. 3 key positions, just like I said. And if you even look closer here, right? In spot 20, with my mother sign, it actually calls her the informant. Huh? Because they actually seen her to give up information, private information about her child, to give it up to the state. And if you're property of the state, which is property of the United States, which is United Nations, then that means you also control property of the Pope
Come on
and the
now.
Church,
Come on
which
now.
now leads to the Pope imposing a deadline for the Vatican to transfer assets to the bank. Pope Francis has imposed an October the 1st deadline for all Holy See offices and Vatican-linked institutions to deposit their assets with the Vatican Bank. It's gonna happen. But what I can promise you is, if you haven't done your status correction control over these assets, they're gonna take control for you. Are you gonna get them back? I don't know. But I can promise you that there's a shift coming and something big coming. If the bad assets, which include you, you better wake the hell up, family. Hit us on ourselflawingmaster.com. Build with us. Now,
All right. I don't know if you catch all of that and understand what's going on. I don't think you catch all of that and understand the papacy over the entire world. I don't think you understand the papacy and the rulership over all governments on this planet. I don't think you understand the papacy and the rulership of all living creature on this planet. You think because you call yourself a Protestant or a Baptist or a non-denominationalist or a Muslim or whatever you call yourself, you think you're not under rulership? As long as you're part of this world, you're under leadership. Your leaders are exploiting you. You think you're against flesh and blood? No, you're against powers and principalities and spiritual wickedness in where? High places. You must understand this. You are at war, ladies and gentlemen. But you just don't know it because you've been put on a Ferris wheel and it's called 9 to 5. You're put on a Ferris wheel and it's called 5 to 11 or 12. And then you sleep for 8 hours and you right back on the Ferris wheel. You're being entertained and bamboozled and you don't know your history. And you have been bamboozled, deceived by religion, by your governments. They have deceived you. You don't understand these things. Well, someone said we're on the same page. Hallelujah. Alalo. Y'all don't understand what's about to come, ladies and gentlemen. You don't understand what's about to come down the pike. You oh, oh, yeah, oh. A great Allah aim. Open their eyes that they may see. Open their eyes that they may see. There is one God, ladies and gentlemen. One. You were fooled and lied to and tricked to believing there is 3 gods that made a one. See, that's your first big mistake. Listen to me. I'm speaking to you from one who has woke up and got up out of the bed and left. I was in the matrix. I know I lost a couple of people when I said that, but it's okay. The word Yahweh, aka Jesus, followed him. They went out. They drive out demons. They heal the sick. They did all types of miracles through the authority given to them. But when it comes down to something that they heard They heard Yahushua said, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no part in me. And the 70 who did the miracles, who preached the kingdom, who see the demons fleeing at the name. See, they didn't understand. They didn't understand what he was saying. My words are life. They should have asked questions. Why do you speak to the people in parables? That they may hear it but don't understand it, that they may see it but not perceive it. If they ask, that's why the Bible teaches us to ask questions. Ask and it shall be given unto you, saith the Most High God. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the doors shall be open unto you. So if you don't find, it's because you're not seeking. If you don't receive the answers, because you're not asking. And if the doors are not open, it's because you're not knocking. All of these three things involve you. He's not going to do it for you. A lot of time people think God is just not. He didn't create you like that. He created you in his image. You have power within you. There is greatness within you. And you need to understand this. And the devil, Satan, the dragon, the serpent, who has deceived the entire world. And ladies and gentlemen, if you look into government, if you look into this world's entity, if you look into the Pope and the leaders, your religion, this world is lost in sin. There's only one that can free you. Only one. And it's the word himself. It is God, Yahweh himself, that can free you. It was Yahweh who sent Yahushai. Yahushua didn't come on his own. Yahushua didn't come on his own. He was sent and he was given a commandment, what he should say, what he should speak. He his own. But yet we in churches singing him, oh Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus. What are you doing? That's not what he called us to do. He said worship God. You know, I heard a person said the other day, I was listening to a guy on TikTok, I think, or one of them, TikTok or YouTube, Chinese good dude, was saying that Jesus didn't reveal himself as God to any person. He never preached it, only to Satan. He said that. Only to Satan in Matthew 4, he says, tempt the Lord thy God. Right? First and foremost, it's amazing how people can draw scripture here, one scripture there, and make you believe a whole sentence. And if you know anything about learning, can't take things out of context or content, think you're learning anything. You need practicalism. You need the story. You need the content of everything, the context. You need to understand how things fall into place. It's like you go into the car and you already know how to drive. You can just do everything. You know how to stay on the line. And it's no, you need practical. You got to go out there. You got to do it. You can take your time. You're going to learn some things. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to correct those mistakes. You're going to learn. You can't drive one day and say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to take the test. What's the chances of you passing that test? And it's possible you can pass. fast. Don't get me wrong. But we practice to become better. The problem with us, ladies and gentlemen, today is because we have believed what this world have to offer. And if you would just allow me to take you back in summary, I'll try to summarize this for you guys because some of you don't have the attention span to go an hour with me because everything's so fast nowadays. People don't pay attention anymore. And that's because people are broke. People are so broke, they can't pay attention. They're broken inside. Our leaders have failed us. All of them who rise up trying to do good for us, they have failed and failed miserably. Why? Because it's not part of the plan. As great as Mr. Farrakhan is, he can't save nobody. He's over there preaching and telling everybody, well, he can't save nobody. Malcolm X couldn't save nobody. Yet we stand up. Martin Luther are great leaders. And there's a lot of people died for why standing here, but you got to understand the plans. You got to be able to see it. And if you don't see it, you will forever look into someone to come save you. And those someone, they can't save you. I was here on the planet. How many people did he save when he was here? And he was the perfect being. Never sinned. How many people did he reach while he was here? As he was. Because he teaches something, ladies and gentlemen, that you guys need to understand. Your faith will make you whole. Your faith will make you whole. To be whole, it has to come from within, inside of you. The Most High God plants some things inside of you. And you just need the keys. You need keys to open and unlock the mysteries of the kingdom inside of you. I am like me here, giving you the opportunities, giving you the keys so you can unlock some things, so you can truly be free from the deception of this world. This world is deceived and lost in, and it's imploding from within. Tradition and religion has corrupted the way. On the narrow path you must stay. Many are called by the Most to a of Yahweh's love. You're chosen because you respond to what you've heard. The world can't save you. Your politician can't save you. Your presidents and prime ministers can't save you. Stop the inevitable. This world will be destroyed. And I'll say destroyed. Its government, its system will be destroyed because there is a God in heaven who has spoken these words. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess, because he is alone is God. So let me break down some simplicity to you. There is not three gods. Stop calling the God of heaven a triunity or trinity. He is not a trinity. He has never spoken that ever about himself. God is not a trinity. That's the first lie that was told to you that you believe. That God is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, and the Godhead is 3. Let me tell you something. There's only one God. Every other are imposters. And there is one being out there that is causing confusion to the world and allowing the world to worship him under disguise, under secrecy. That's why you have the Illuminatis, the Kabbalah, the it's like speaking to the air if you don't understand basics. So I want to go back to basics. The basic is that there's one God, ladies and gentlemen. One God. There's many sons of God. There's many daughters of God, because that's what we are. The scripture spoke of one begotten Son of God. That is the word itself that became flesh and dwelt among us. Has no beginning, no end, like Melchizedek. And that's something back and answer to, like this angel Michael, who's the top person there. Who's going to stand up? That angel Michael, who is like unto God. That's what the name is, who is like unto God. And he went to the Ancients of Days. And he's the one that's going to come back and sit on David's throne right here on earth. Many of you think you're going to die and go to heaven. If you look, it says no one has gone up to heaven except the one that comes from heaven. Or whoever the Most High God chooses to take up to heaven. And he says this after Enoch. He said this after Elijah, who was taken up. So he said no one has gone up there except the one who comes down from there. Now, somewhere in the scripture it talks about a third heaven. Third heaven. I don't know. I don't have any insight on where that they went. Some believe it's in purgatory. Some believe it is in paradise. I don't know. I don't got that information. All I knew that they went somewhere. But I'm talking about the one who came down here. And the one who came down here has given us the information. And he told us that eternal life is to know this one God and the word who he has sent. And he told one God, the only true God. There's two types of people on this planet, ladies and gentlemen. Two types. You're either black or you're white. There's two kingdoms. You're either in the kingdom of God or you're in the kingdom of the devil. There's two choices on this planet, ladies and gentlemen. You're either right or you're wrong. Equal and opposite. And the choice is yours. You're either the people of God, Yahweh, or you're not. It's just that simple. So the question now, I guess I have to ask you, who are you? Because that is very important to your salvation. And the reason why I'm asking you, who are you, is because someone controlled your past. And whoever controlled your past Whoever controls your history controls you, controls your future. Do you know the true God, the one true God who created you? Because at the end of the day, that is the question. Do you know the one true God, ladies and gentlemen? Who is he? Joyful rising, my beautiful sister. Who is he? What is his name? What is his son's name? Who is this God? I think that's a logical question to ask. Because if you're going to worship something, do you not want to know what you're worshiping? How many of you go to church and call yourself Baptist, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh Day Adventist, Episcopalia, Muslims, Buddhists, and all these isms, schisms that are out there? Do you know the origin of your faith? Do you know the origin of the builders of your faith? How did your faith started? Because it was handed down to you from generation to generation. Who are those people that started those religions? How did they start it? Why did they start it? What do they say of themselves, and what type of person were they? Most of you don't know. You call yourself by these things, but you don't know where they come from. You don't know the backdrop and who they actually work. Who does your organization worship? Because let me tell you something. I've said this many, many times. There's a church within a church. Did you know that the very United States of America has two branches to it? And I'm not talking about the traditional. No, I'm not talking about that stuff. Because that's what they feed you. I'm talking about there is a United States, which is the corporation, and there's a United States, which is the nationalization. Sports, man. Who are you? Are you a part of a corporation? Or are you a part of the nationalization of the state, of the country? You got to understand some things. You got to go see this brother, man. Brother Truth, man. He's going to teach you some things about, you're going to open up your eyes, man. Brother Truth is going to open up your eyes to some things because he's going to show you writings. He's going to show you historical evidence, man. Go follow this guy. This guy's onto something here. But a better than Brother Truth is here. I'm telling you, a better than Brother Truth is. But it's good to all these things. Because I'm not fighting for a place in this world. I'm not fighting to be heard. I'm not fighting for no equal rights. The SF 181 government document already classed me as 2/3 non-human. So therefore, if I'm non-human, that means I have absolutely no rights in this world, according to the corporation. No planet. So I'm not interested in this world's pie. Why trying to get a slice of the damn pie when I can go to the one who created the oven and the flour and the water and the ingredients to make the pie? I'm not interested in the pie. A guy who's 20 years old, off. I've worked since I was 8 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I worked since I was 8 years old. I got my first paycheck at 8 years old. That was 1979. Remember my first paycheck? I made 120 Jamaican dollar. Was actually 1.5 Jamaican dollar. It was so much money. I didn't even know what to do with it. So I took the $5 and I gave the rest to my mom. Just $5 all I need. Couldn't spend it. I remember when $5 was a lot of money. I remember I used to play arcade a lot, $2 games, and I'd be at the arcade all day because I was very good. Some of you don't know what an arcade is, but I was very good at the games, and I'd go to the I got me some patties, got me some sundae, and I couldn't finish that $5. I remember going to the movies were 25 cents. I remember those days. 15 cents for one movie, 25, 30 cents for 3 movies. I remember those days, man. So you can imagine having $5. I know a little bit of struggling. I know a little bit about depression. I know a little bit about thinking suicidal. I know a little bit about, feeling like, my life means nothing. I know a little bit about having children. This is the woman for me. And I know a little bit about child support and, working and have no money because it's all going to child support. I know a little bit about that. I know a little bit about sleeping in the basement. I know a little bit about sleeping in a trailer park. I know a little bit about these things. I also know greatly about the God who will guide you through all things. I know a little bit about the God. I know a lot about the God who will give you all of your heart. Because I know about living in a 4,000 square foot house. I know what I'm saying? So I know a thing or two. I can talk to you about that. I know a thing or two about pain. I can talk to you about that. I know a thing Christian about being religious. I can talk to you about that. I know a thing or two about trusting government and government officials. I know a thing or two about that. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, take it from a guy who has been through the fire. There's only one on this planet, in this universe, that can set you free, and that's Yahweh. Once you understand that, your life will be changed forever. So in closing, I'm not going long today. We're at the end. All of the signs are here. This world will be into a one government. You will be forced not only to give up your freedom, you have already given it already. You will be forced to give up your money, your weapons, and everything you have. You will own nothing and you will be happy about it. Though you're maybe a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Scientology, or whatever your religion is, you can stay in your religious garb, but you will be one. You're forced to keep Monday as the national day of rest. Forced. Now they have changed the solemnity of the Sabbath day from the seventh day. They have moved the seventh day Sabbath to the sixth day. They have moved it from the seventh day to the sixth day, and they have moved the first day to the seventh day. So now Sunday, that used to be the first day of the week, Sunday is now the seventh day of the week. I can't tell you the disaster that's coming up. And they will make a law. They will make a statue forcing you to bow down to that statue. And that statue is that law. A statue is a law. They will force you to keep Sunday holy. And they'll create the devastation, the chaos. And they are going to deceive you into thinking, if we can go back to God and keep his day holy, will the going to eat up, because they're waiting for a Messiah, the Mashiach, that will bring on world peace. And everyone that does not keep this statue will be killed. A lot of people will die. But the Bible teaches us that the world will wander after the beast. All the world. The only people who will not wander after the beast is those whose names are written in the book of life. So if your name is life, you will worship the beast, whether you know it or not. How many of you sold yourselves over and take this in your veins? How many of you collect this thing inside of you? Fearful of losing your jobs. You're fearful of losing your jobs, because you know if you lose your jobs, you may lose your house, you may lose everything you have, because you have to work in order to keep everything going. And you forget what it says. You must be willing to give up everything you have. So you will give up everything you have for your life. But his father, mother, son, daughter, job, more than him, the word is not worthy of the word. When a man finds the kingdom, he goes and sell everything he has. Then he comes back and buy the field. You must understand how precious this is. Here's where we are in the dispensation of time. We're coming up on the freedom or reset of the true Hebrew nation. Only a remnant will be saved. The time of the Gentile is coming to an end, because they have to finish trampling underfoot the most holy thing. That's coming to an end. There's the two, we're in the 10 toes. I spent great details talking about that today, and we'll continue because that's where we are. The stone that cuts out of the mountain, but not by human hand, will hurl and hit the statue, and that mountain, that stone will become a huge mountain and fill the earth. So we're coming up on the time of tribulation, and Yahweh is calling his people out of these government, out of these religion. And ladies and gentlemen, time of testing to see if you will open up the floodgates in to your life. He's calling you to get out of these religion, get out of these governments. And for the OMPP, he's calling you to leave these countries and go back to the wilderness where he can make you strong again. Those who listen will move. But those who stay, you're going to need all the luck you can. These things are about to come down like swiftly. Read Matthew 24. A tribulation like this, debts like you've never seen before. It's going to happen. I'm no prophet. I'm just a man. I leave you with a little bit of the ravenous bird, restoring our history back to us.
Bringing these laws to remember. Yahoo says only your women gon' hit the call, but are you chosen? Torah Watayot and go test the hearts of those who join him. You can find me standing with those who wish to keep the commandments, and at war with all those who say we can't do, only examine. I was just like you, I played the fool to look my propaganda, asking questions, let me be Yahoo, no one else had the answer. Halalo, I Yahoo. When you see all these obstacles in front of you, just depart. Halal, Yahoo, sorry, why God let that depart? When you can break these scriptures down and actually set your brother's heart. So just hold on for popping champagne. We still here in the fire. Being correct throughout our campaign shows what Yahoo.
Hachresho ale eem. Wala amem yachle pochach. Yagasho az yadabat nakaraba. Mehaer mamazrak sadak. Yakaraho laragalo. Yathan lapaneo goen wa malachem. Yarad. Yathan rakapar charabo. Rakash nadab kashato. Yaradab am yabar shalom. Arach bar ragaleo la yabo. Me'pile wa rasha. Kar hadarot maraash. Ane ya o. Av acharanem. An ra'o e'em. Wayera'o katso ta'aras. Yacharado karabo wa'apeon. Shalom ya'o shar'am. B'matrei mashna u'ba'cholam. La madabarim wa shamayim shapah barora. Ane ya'o da bandor hachet. Wanachanete chorash. Rabat ya'o ish katsato. Mamazrach ma'aras marachak. Gam ane kol kor b'madbar. Pano darach ya'o. Yashiro ba'garaba masla la Allah eno. Za ane. Za ane. Wa akar basapa hanabe yeshayao. Parak arba'in wa achad chator chamash. I just read from Ya'o the prophet. His name is Yeshayahu, not Isaiah in the filthy heathen language. Yeshayahu is how you pronounce his name in the pure language. Saved. Ya'o has saved. And this was chapter 41, verses 1 to 5. And this will be a 4-part series. This video, if you know me, I like to keep my videos short and sweet. So in this video, we will cover verses 1 to 5. In the next video will be verses 6 to 14. Then in part 3, verses 15 to 24. And the final video, the 4th installment, will be verses 25 to 29. So without any further ado, let's break down each word of this chapter and correct the mistranslations and the misinterpretations that have been offered by the heathens that are floating around out there now. First word, hachresho. Hachresho. This is an imperative verb addressed to the second person masculine plural. A debar matzo, an imperative, is a command word of the second person. It is a word you use when you want to tell someone, the second party, to do something. Hachresho is from the verbal root charasha, charash, which in the causative verb stem, or shablav ha, as we refer to the causative stem in the pure language, it means to be quiet, to keep silent, to stand down. The imperative hach ratio in the causative means cause yourselves to be silent or keep quiet. Next word, ale. Ale. This is a preposition al, meaning to or before, combined with a pronominal suffix in the first person common singular, me. Ale means to me or before me. Hach ratio ale, cause yourselves to keep quiet before me. Next word, am. Silence. Hachale aim. Keep quiet before me, islands. Thus, these islands, we don't know who they are yet, but these islands are the second person to whom the direct command, hach ratio, is being given. They are being ordered by the speaker, who is Yahweh, to keep quiet before him. And the reason why is given in the clause that follows. Wala amem yachlepochach. Wala amem yachlepochach. And the people, let them renew power. The first word in this clause, wala amem, the letter wa is the conjunction and, then the word la amem after this is the plural noun for people. The next word is a adjussive verb, which is a command of the third person, and this verb belongs to the causative stem, third person masculine plural aspect, lepo, let them renew. From the verbal root cha la pa, chalap, which means to change, to transform. The last word in this clause is the noun chach in the singular absolute, which means strength or power. Wa la amem yachlepo chach. And the people, let them renew power. The islands are being ordered to be quiet, to stand down and to not interfere, so the people of Yahweh may go to these islands and renew their power there. They will be changed and transformed in these islands and go from being weak and powerless to strong and powerful. These islands where this transformation is to take place are commanded by Yahweh to let it happen right under their noses and in their own backyard. Hachresho ale la'amem. The next word is its own clause by itself. Yagasho. Yagasho. This is an imperfect verb in the third person masculine plural of the basic stem from the verbal root nagash, which means to approach. It is a weak verb that begins with the letter na, and that letter is dropping out in the imperfect aspects. Yagasho means they will approach. The next word is an adverb, az, which means then. After this, we have another verb, yadabaro. Yadabaro. This is a strong verb in the intensified stem, third person masculine plural, from the root dabar, which means to speak or to say. Yadabaro in the imperfect aspect means they will speak. Az yadabaro means then they will speak. The subject of this verb is the people who power on the islands. The next word is yachado. Yachado, which is an adverb which means together, united, or unified. Az yadabaro, then they will speak, tells us that the people have something they wish to say. Then yachado is the first word that the people speak. After this, we have la mashpat. La mashpat is a preposition and definite article preceding the noun. The last, nakaraba, is a cohortative verb in the imperfect, which means it is a command of the first person in the common gender and plural number. And it means, let us come near. Let us come near. From the verbal root karab, which means to. So that's each word of verse 1 of Yeshayahu chapter 41, parsed out with every grammatical feature accounted for and explained. Now, I despise the English language because it's the language of my people's former slave masters. I hate the fact that I have to use it in my videos or else people will not understand what I'm saying. I also hate translations of the scriptures into any language. I don't need them. I speak and read the pure language fluently. But if we have to translate this verse into the filthy heathen English language, then the literal translation, and I mean the verbatim word for word translation, is this: keep quiet before me, islands, and the people let them renew power. They will approach, then they will speak. Together for the judgment, let us come near. So what does it mean? The speaker is Yahweh via his prophet Yeshayahu. The speaker is handing down an order to a group of nameless islands to stand down, to be quiet, and to allow another people to come to their islands so that they may renew their power in those islands. They are coming. This is not a request. They are coming whether these islands like it or not. And the people who are coming, although they arrive weak and powerless, they are going to be strong and powerful people while they are there. They speak as one. They come united, same page in terms of what they believe and what they are setting out to do. They come to establish the mashpat, the judgment, which means they are coming to create an area, a boundary within which the judgment of Yahweh is supreme. That means an area where the tabernacle of Yahweh is built and where all of his laws, statutes, and commandments are kept to the letter. That's why they come. They come to reestablish the covenant and to keep it. Now, I have taken the time to go over in detail the literal word-for-word meaning of this verse. The heathen interpretations of this verse, on the other hand, the European Christian and Jewish interpretations of this verse, the interpretations that they offer bore on the mentally retarded. And I know this is the hand of Yahweh. The heathen Bible interpreters would have us believe that this verse is some kind of challenge made by the Creator to all the nations of the world to muster up their strength and to come together to try to justify their idolatry before him. Don't ask me how they reached that conclusion. I don't care. But if you look up Christian and Jewish commentaries of this verse, this is the nonsense that you will find. The exact phrase used at the beginning of this verse, Yachlepochach, Yachlepochach, let them renew power, has already been used by the prophet Yeshaya in the previous chapter 40 and verse 31. And those who wait on Yahweh, let them renew power. They will mount up the wing like eagles. What does that mean? Does it mean that one day those who are waiting on Yahweh will have superpowers and fly through the sky like Superman does in the comic books and in the movies? No, that's not what it means. It means that Yahweh is going to put his people on airplanes and fly them like eagles fly to the islands that we have been reading about. And after his people land and take up residence in these islands, then their power as a people will be renewed because they will be transformed into a righteous and holy nation. And Yahweh with his whole heart and keeps every single word of his covenant.
If you want to catch the rest of this, go on YouTube and look up the ravenous bird and look at Keep Quiet Before Me Islands. There are 4 parts there. For the Middle Passage people, I'm talking to you. If you can trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, I'm speaking to you. If you're not, if you cannot trace your lineage to the Atlantic slave trade, I'm not speaking to you. I'm only speaking who can the lineage through the Atlantic slave trade. This is for you. Now, for those who are not of this lineage, you can join yourself to the Most High. Isaiah 56. You could go to Isaiah 55 and Isaiah 56, Yashayahu, and it will tell you what you can do, what you must do if you want to be a part of this. That's up to you. Do whatever you want. I'm sharing with those who are of the Middle Passage people, Atlantic slave trade. I'm talking to you because whether you know it or not, whether you would accept it or not, you are the true people of Yahusha Al. Yes, that which we call today is Israel. You are not African Americans. You're not Africans, nor are you Americans. You're not Jamaicans or you're Trinidadians. You are the people of Yahusha, who he himself said he will unite and bring them from the world that he has scattered them. This is our moment. This is We must understand this. He is giving us the opportunity because we're no longer under the bondage of slavery. And when I say bondage, I mean that harsh slavery like our ancestors were. We are free in terms of the choices that we can make. Our forefathers and foremothers couldn't make this choice. They couldn't go out for the confinement of their slaves. We're that way today. We can get up and we can leave. We can go yea and nay. Oh, sorry, not yea and nay, to and fro. And so the command from Yahweh is to come out of her, my people. You if you look around, you see people are being prepared. They know something is coming. People are preparing food. People are going out of the cities. They're moving out of the cities. They're moving into the countries. They're buying up land in the countries where they can plant their own food and grow their own food and water. They're preparing for something, but they don't know that what they're preparing for, there are laws against it. You cannot store food here in the countries anymore. You cannot store food in your cellars anymore like you used to. Prohibiting that now. You just don't know it. You can't grow a certain amount of food. And prohibiting that too, because you have to understand that the system wants total control. You can't go out and trade. Why? Because there would be a law preventing you from doing so. Your monies, all the money that you have in your bank will no longer be yours. It will be no good because you're going to have to convert that money into this new currency that the G7 has now come up with. It's programmable money. So most of you are preparing for cryptocurrencies and all these currencies. Banks, they control all the power source. They control it all. If you think you can fight this power, even if you're united as a people, you got another thing coming. You cannot fight this power. They control every facet of your life. They control what you see, what you hear, what you eat, what you drink. They control your bills. Everything that you use for life, they control it. Your only freedom is to give it all up. Because if you give it all up, then they cannot control you. Through his word, Yahweh is our only answer. If you notice when Yahushua came to the planet, what was the first thing he did? He preached the kingdom. What was the second thing he did? He calls disciples to do what? To leave everything they have. They leave wives. They leave husbands. They leave wives. They leave jobs. They leave house. They leave land to follow. But what did he promise them in return? 100-fold in this life and the next. And they did live their life. But at the end of the day, they gave up their lives. What will you do? Continue in this Ferris wheel? I can tell you, I've reached the top. Mika Albania Osharal has reached the top of my dreams. Yahweh has given me everything I've ever asked for. Everything. And I'm talking about everything in every detail. I went through some things, but he had brought me to the pie. I have the pie. He has given me everything I've ever asked for. And I look at it and I enjoy it. It's enjoyable. It feels good. Been dreaming about this ever since I was 6 years old. Having a God that hears me and answer me and talk with me and I talk with him. Having a wife that loves me unconditionally. Having children that adore me and call me blessed. And I have 4 grandchildren. have a business, not one but two. Have the car. In the eyes of this world, I'm a very wealthy man, very rich man. I have love in me and around me. And none of it means anything to me now. Go and talk to Mike Tyson. You say, I'm a beast. There's nobody in the world can beat me. I'm the best. Blah, 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 blah. Champion of the world. Ferocious. Go and talk to Mike Tyson right now. Ask him about all his victories. Ask him about all his belt. He will tell you they means nothing. He said when he was younger, he had that's what he wanted. But now that he has possessed it, it means nothing to him. What he talks about now, love. Love and respect for family. Look at Tyson, he's a changed man. Those who grime and went through that where they are in life and then get to the promised land and realize it's not promisable. That what really matters is your relationships. You go ask anyone who if you were to ask a person, if you could ask a person who come back from the dead, or if you could ask a person on their deathbed what they regret, or what would they like to carry over to the next life, they would not mention house, they would not mention land, they would not mention more money. If you were to ask a person on their deathbed what they think who have accomplished, they would have tell you they wish they spend more time with their wives. And they going to the basketball game, doing these little mediocre things we take for granted. That's what they would tell you, wish they could have done more. I'm just grateful that I get an opportunity to just love my wife, man. There's nobody on earth, no one on earth that I love more than my wife and my children and my grandchildren. But you heard what I just said? You see who came first? I didn't even put myself in the equation. Because I know me. What are you willing to give up for this life? Eternal life or abundant life. Take it from me. All of what you're going for, all of what you're going seeking, you're spending day in and day out. It's not worth it in the end. I'm not telling you shouldn't go after your dreams. I'm telling you, instead of running down your dreams, let your dreams run you down. Instead of going after money, let money come. Because you have the power and the ability to attract these things. And that's why they call it the law of attraction. You can become, and all that which you seek will find you. I liken that to a tree in a solitary bears fruit. It bears fruit and then all the fruit falls off. And it bear more fruit and all the fruit fall off. And you think, man, it's just a waste for the tree to be bearing fruit and nobody coming. But let me tell you something, insects coming, birds coming, all type of that food. So it's not and then one day somebody was walking and saw the tree. And first they keep it a secret. Because they want to bear the tree for themselves. But they just can't help but to tell others, bro, I know where this tree at. And so a wise man would take some of the fruit and plant more trees. Because if you can't, once you start telling people, then you're not going to get the share that you normally have. So a wise man should take the fruit and start planting more trees so that when you start telling more people, You got more trees, but instead we want to keep the tree for ourselves, man. And that's our downfall. We're at the seventh. The seventh day, the Most High God has been training us, recycling it, recycling it, recycling it, reset it. That's why we get a weekend. When we get a weekend and we work 6 days and we refresh, he was teaching us something. That's why he gave us a sabbatical year. A sabbatical is when the year comes, we rest. Every year we would rest the land. We weren't supposed to harvest the land or plant the land. The land was supposed to rest. Within that time, we have 7 feasts, 7 holy feast days, where we celebrate the 7 holy feasts of the Most High God. The last was the atonement, the Day of Atonement, which was the Jubilee feast, which was 49 Sabbaths and the 50th Sabbath. People will be set free. Slaves will be set free. You'll be free of debt. Things will be restored, restored back to reset. God resets. We're coming up on that reset, resuscitation right now. This is the 70th Sabbath, the 70th Jubilee Sabbath, which will happen in the year 2024. And a lot of people think it's going to happen now in 2022, or some people think it's 2023, but I'm here to tell you it's actually 2024, where God is going to reset the nation of Yahosharal. This is the 70th year. If you look at the 70-week prophecy in Daniel chapter 9, just look at what happened during that time. Leviticus chapter 25 and look at the year of Jubilee, what happened at that time. You're going to see we're up for something at this Jubilee. The Pope is talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. They're going to try to counterfeit this thing to get as many people on their side, but many people are going to be going there and realize that they're going to be trapped. That's why Yahushua told us that when they tell you I'm in the city, don't go over there. When they tell you I'm in the secret chamber, don't go over there. When they tell you I'm over there, because I'm not. The sun will not give her light. The moon will not give her light. The stars will fall from the sky. That when he's coming back, every eye shall see him. He's not just going to appear on the world. You're going to see him. All the place going to be dark, and he's going to come with the heavenly hosts. And you're going to start seeing messiahs popping up, doing all kind of counterfeit miracles, healing people, doing all kind of stuff. And people are going to run for it. And when they say peace, peace, comes sudden destruction. And not be deceived, those who are preparing for the elect. The elect will never be deceived because they have drinking from the fountain and never grow thirsty again. Trust yours. All right. Peace out.